What's going on, everyone? I hope you're very well. Today we're gonna do a little bit of an update, a little bit of pruning session in this little guy. This is the Tigerbark ficus that we worked on last time, that we transplanted into this little training pot. You can see that it's all dirty because of the watering. And we can see that it's adapted very well to its new environment. So much so that it has now produced new growth. That new growth has matured, and now it's in need of a little bit of a pruning so we can continue to ramify and we can continue to, develop the branches. So at this stage, I don't want to get any more or that much more girth in the trunk. So I'm going to come in and remove these little branches that we have here and here. You can see here, we can see one that it's very close to the base of this little branch. So we go ahead and remove that. So the idea for today's operation, if you will, is to, cut so that we develop the branches. So for example, if a branch is too long, we cut that. But if, for example, this is too close to the main trunk and we want to, make it a bit longer, well, we cut that as well, right? Oh, sorry, we leave it growing so that it can continue to develop, it can continue to gain strength, and then whenever the time is right, we cut that, right? So for example, this one, I think this will be a nice, a nice point where to cut. In order to vigorize these two butts that we have there, well, we cut this one as well. So that would be good. And here we have a very good example of what I want to do. So if the foliage of this branch started from this point, where we can see all of this, that would be too long, because that would mean that the branch would start here, and it will be too big, too long for the overall size of the tree. So luckily, or it's very, very good that I have this little butt here, because that way I can come in, leave a little bit of the foliage, a little bit of the branch, and this is now going to take center stage. As we usually do, we can take cuttings from that. Same thing here. I have this little butt right here. I can even go further back and start here. I will do the same with this one. Cut the center one. And now I got two little butts, that are gonna elongate. Yeah. We can even go in and, remove the center butt. They're so tender that we can do this with our fingers. So let's take a look at this branch. Same story as with the previous one, as with this one. We can see that it's too long for the size of the tree. So what we do is we come in and we prune heavily. Maybe over here. And with ficus, it's it's almost guaranteed that we'll get more buds from that branch, as long as we keep it in the right conditions. As long as we keep it well watered, as long as we keep it in a nice spot, it will be absolutely no problem for the plant. So look at this branch over here. You see how I pruned that so that we have more foliage in the future, and this started to develop and it started to ramify, which is very good. But now I can also see that this little bulb became active, and it's in a much better position. I'm just gonna move it so you can see it's in a much better position there. So I go ahead and remove this altogether. Yeah, sorry about my fingers, but my tripod suddenly broke, and I'm left with you know, my organic tripod, aka my hands. So yeah, continue this operation. By the end of this operation, our little tree will look awful, but you know, the structure, we want structural basis which we can continue to work on. Yeah. So we do the same thing. If we can see that there's a branch that needs to continue to grow, we leave it, and we can even do a little bit of pruning to vigorize that shoot. And then when the length is right, we come in and we prune. Yeah. So I'm going to continue doing that, and then I'll show you the final result. So we continue, and we can see that we're almost there. But here at the top, we can see a note of interest. We can see that the apex, you know, is getting all the vigor that the plant has. It's the place where it gets the most sunlight. It's the place where all the nutrients are headed to. But we can also see that this section of the upper part doesn't have any foliage. So that would be like a, you know, a blank space, if you will. But we do have this little branch that started to grow here from the little corner that we have there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut all of the apex. Yeah. And this one, we're not going to clip all of it. We're just going to clip the tip. Yeah, this is new growth, so you know, it's no problem if we cut it, because the tree is very vigorous. But you know, it's a good idea to clip the tips so that the new foliage can be vigorized. So like I warned you at the beginning, it looks awful now, but it'll start to look much better next time we see it. And after all, it's been only like a couple of months since we transplanted it, so you know, I see this as an absolute win. Hope you liked this video. Another very interesting thing, important thing, please follow my other channel where I talk about terrariums and aquariums. If you have any doubts, comments, questions, anything, drop them down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.